Welcome! This is On the Dotted Line. My name is Deshaun Lyons, and this is
Marquise Taylor.
This is episode 37. You already know. We're about to talk about the great, the legendary Stan Lee. R.I.P to the great Stan Lee. And also, we're going to talk about this presidential candidate for 2020. He's going to run in 2020. He wants to implement a bill, an act, a law called UBI. Everybody in America gets $1,000. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? We're going to talk about that. But first, R.I.P to Stan Lee. What you got to talk about with Stan Lee? Because Stan Lee, legendary. Spider-Man, all the Marvels, very dope superheroes. One of my favorite superheroes, Spider-Man. And he gave me that I used to always watch Spider-Man, even the Spider-Man cartoons that they used to have on Channel 11. I'm old, it's my birthday, I'm 29, so I don't know, y'all remember the comment on Channel 11, they had the cartoon series of Spider-Man. That's one of my favorite. I like Batman too. I like many of them characters. X-Men, all the Avengers. Right now, Black Panther's killing it right now. Stan Lee is amazing. He gave us all these superheroes to look forward to, and just have that type of inspiration, because everybody is different, and if you look at X-Men, they was considered different because they was mutants, and the as person they looked at them, and but they had powers and they were smart. Professor Xavier was a genius.
Beast was a genius.
Oh my God, Beast was a genius also. So, you may feel different out there, but know that you're still special. You got hidden powers and hidden talent. And Stan Lee gave us that, man.
Excelsior. Stan Lee, he was born in 1922. Him along with Jack Kirby. Yeah, he been around for a minute, man. But between him and Jack Kirby, they were co-creators of a lot of comic book characters, like Deshaun said, like Spider-Man being one of the main examples. Spider-Man is a very relatable character. He's going through a lot of trials and tribulations, just like the average Joe walking down the street. Right. Bills, college, student loans, he went through it all. Right. And he was still fighting crime at the end of the day.
Right. Everybody could relate to a lot of these superheroes, like he said with Spider-Man. Like, everybody got bills. Everybody had to go to school, and they still trying to balance their life out, and like they social life and school. And Spider-Man had both. Like Mary Jane, like he was in love with her.
Gwen Stacy.
Right, his love life with that, and then he had school, and then he had to, be Spider-Man. He had to rescue people. So that, like, he's so much a relatable character. That's why he's my favorite character.
Comic book characters in general, they're dope. For people out there that like following them, it gives you something to look up to, at least for the children. And for the adults that's in the comic books, it's entertaining. Right. And nowadays, what they're trying to do with comic books is they're trying to make it more relatable. Right. You look at comic books now, they really go through like social issues. Like, comic book characters are stressed out.
Like Luke Cage, right?
Yes. Luke Cage. And that's why we have like anti-heroes. These people, they're caught in between good and evil, just like the average person walking down the street. They make good decisions, they make bad decisions, just like all of us. And another thing, Stan Lee, another thing that's good about him is he made it his business to be in all his movies. So like even Guardians of the Galaxy, to the Spider-Mans, to the Deadpools. If you notice, even going down to the shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he made an appearance in every single show and movie that Marvel had, pretty much.
Amazing.
He made an appearance in all of them.
And that's why up-and-coming directors need to be inspired by this man, inspired by the great Stan Lee, because we need more heroes. We need young kids to see this visual of superheroes, to know that you may be different, but you still important. We need to highlight the great things you do. And that's what Stan Lee did with, a lot of his superheroes he had. Like the whole X-Men, they was mutants, but it was so diverse when it comes to their powers. Everybody did something, had something different.
Yep.
But they was very powerful in doing it, and they had, you know, and they just had something to bring to the table to help the universe. And that's what makes it so dope, and that makes Stan Lee like so creative. And for me, being an artist, you know, I'm inspired about that, because we need that. Because I feel like today's society's lack of creativity, and we need more people to create these visions for us in this narrative that, you know, people can look forward to, kids can look forward to, kids can look up to, and Stan Lee paint that picture
perfectly. Oh, and another thing, for anybody out there that's curious about comics, I'm gonna recommend doing what I did. Comics are very expensive nowadays, and it takes up
25 cents back in the day, bro.
Oh nah, the game done changed. I'm gonna tell you now, they cost a lot more than 25 cents now, especially the new ones. But for anybody that's into it, I would suggest checking out Comics Explained and also Comic Historian. That's where I've been looking for most of my comic book, to get my comic book geek feel. I would suggest everybody going to those YouTube channels and checking that out as well.
Are there any up and coming Marvel movies coming out?
Oh, you know we're waiting for the new Avengers. We ain't gonna see that for a while.
Thanos is hurting feelings in that, man. Thanos is hurting feelings. He was just killing everybody. I mean, when I left that movie theater, it was quiet.
It was real quiet. A lot of people got hurt in that movie.
Right.
Oh, and we got Captain Marvel coming out.
Okay, uh-oh.
I forget the date. Don't hate me, but Captain Marvel is coming out.
Captain Marvel.
You gotta catch all that. She dope. Her powers are dope. She got energy absorption. She can shoot energy. She got super strength. She can fly. All that good stuff.
Right.
Check it out when it drops, because I know I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna be there for that.
So, R.I.P to the great Stan Lee, man. Hopefully we can have more Stan Lees out there in today's society. That would be so dope. So, the next thing we want to talk about. I was searching the web. I believe it was World Star, and I saw a man. He was an Asian man. He's running for president in 2020. He's going to be a presidential candidate, and he wants to implement a bill called UBI. Now, if people don't know what UBI is, it's called Universal Basic Income. Everybody in America they get a certain amount of money. Everybody get it. They get a certain amount of money. So he said he wants everybody to get $1,000. Everybody in America to get $1,000. So, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because in my opinion, I think when people's not going to give you free money. It's always going to be an agenda behind that. Because nothing in this world is free. It's always an agenda behind that. That's why I feel like it's a bad thing. It's absolutely a bad thing. He said people are going to still get $1,000 and they can still keep their jobs. But the reason for that, because the jobs are declining. It's declining because of the machines, and if you want to call robots, they're taking over the jobs. They're trying to push the physical labor, human labor. They're trying to push them out because it's costing more money. And America is in $22 trillion in debt. So to help that debt, why are we gonna hire somebody if we can have machines do it and we don't have to pay the machines? We can just have somebody to operate the machines. So the agenda behind having that $1,000 is to get rid of the middle class. So it could be only two classes, the rich and the poor. And so you're gonna have $1,000, but if the cost of living is going up, how could you sustain having a good life, having $1,000? If you have right now, you have cars that's $100,000. You know how college is going to be? Your college debt. You want $100,000 in college debt. You know how you're going to be able to get that? Your house costs $1,500. You only have $1,000 a month. So even if you have a job, what type of job they're going to have?
Damn, that's only monthly?
Monthly. You only get $1,000 a month. You're going to implement. He said you can keep your jobs. But the thing is, jobs, in my opinion, the conspiracy side of it, I feel like it's an agenda to only create two classes. It's the rich and the poor. It's going to be no middle class. And if you look at jobs now, like McDonald's, the cashier, you see the cashier is slowly but surely leaving. They don't need a cashier anymore because they have the electronic,
the automatic machine.
You're right. They got the machine that you can order the food and they just pick it up. They got that now. They're trying to build cars to be able to run on its own with no passengers.
Oh, that's bye-bye for Lyft and bye-bye for Uber once that happens. Bye-bye.
That job is gone. Tesla is already going to create that. Then you have like securities. Security is going to end up being replaced by cameras. The more cameras get involved, the more cameras is, because like you see unbelievable cameras now. They're detecting everything. They're gonna take over that. They're gonna take over everything. Yeah, it is. It's gonna get real. They're gonna take over everything. Everything's gonna be replaced by that because they can be able to get out of debt. Even though I feel like they can get out, stop going to war. That's another way of, getting out of debt. Stop doing that, wasting money on that when you could just resolve the problems. Like, what you think? You think it's a bad? Because I think it's an absolutely bad thing. I feel like there's an agenda behind that.
Of course it's a bad thing, because if everybody is going to make $1,000 a month, that means they just gave you a ceiling. That means you can't make as much as you want to make.
Right.
That's a very bad thing. Why would you want somebody to be able to tell you, hey, you can't make $5,000 a month, $10,000, $100,000 a month if you know how to do it? Especially going and looking at, let's say, like entrepreneurs and people like that, or even doctors and things like that. Like, that's really bad to be that limited, to have somebody tell you can't go above a certain amount.
And also the nurses are going to be replaced because they have machineries. And if you look at certain companies, a lot of these companies is evolving when it comes to the machines. A lot of them is the doctors is being trained to be able to operate the machines. And now that's going to take away the nurse completely. So it's going to be like almost probably, I could say probably like in 2030, I feel like the jobs as far as humans working, like these jobs are it's gonna probably like 80% takeover. The only job now, but I think as far as the adjustments, as far as the jobs that will be available, it's like the AI jobs. It's the jobs that to make the adjustments is the artificial intelligence type jobs, like learning how to do coding, being in the tech industry, learning that stuff. I feel like, and also things that you have to build with your hands, because I think that's gonna also, you can't have no robot doing that.
Plumbing,
like
electrician.
Yeah, you're gonna still need human labor for that. But those are the trades. Those are the trades. Now trades. Now you see how trades might be more important now than actually going to college for a year, because the debt you accumulate in a trading is not as big as the debt you accumulate in college. $80,000 in debt, $100,000 in debt. With a trade, some trades you probably like maybe $10,000 in debt. Well, they're preparing you for work. You're training to work
for somebody else.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
Nobody wants to work. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody wants to work for anybody else, because at the end of the day, if that's your passion, if that's what you want to do, if you had a certain plan set for your life where, okay, I wanted to be a doctor, this is all I ever wanted to do, right, there's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to do that.
Right.
But like you're saying, what they're implementing, if they're starting to cut certain fields out,
right,
if people have certain passions, it's going to be hard to follow that particular passion. Now you're going to be forced down a certain lane. You're going to be forced to do certain things.
Right.
Which, if you like me, I don't like being forced to do nothing.
and it seems like it's starting to become like China, how China controls what the population do. China controls how many kids you able to have, somewhat control the amount of money you spend also.
Yep.
Now they trying to be like these other countries. So we got to be real careful. We got to be real careful. Cause I see a lot of people in the comments, they say, "Oh, $1,000. Oh man, that's lit." It's like, trust me, nobody is not gonna give you free money, especially if this country is in debt $22 trillion.
And what you gonna do about inflation?
Right. Perfect.
The price of things are going up every year.
Every year.
Every year things are going up. So if everybody's making $1,000, how are you gonna be able to afford anything at a certain point?
Right.
Your car note, your mortgage, you got kids, you got to feed your kids, you might want to put them through school, you want to make sure your kids and your family is good. How you going to do that with $1,000? The only thing that makes sense is if you drop the price of things, which we're in so much debt. How, Sway?
How are you going to do that if we in $22 trillion in debt? So how would you do that? So that's how I feel like it's an agenda behind that. And I feel like we have a chance to be able to dead that. We have a chance to be able to we good. We don't need that money. We working hard. We're perfectly fine with our jobs and whatever. Because eventually it is the way society is going. It is gonna the jobs gonna slowly but surely go down. It's gonna slowly but surely go down. And I would say with that, just start learning other things. There's other things to learn, and to there's trades and there's trade schools to be able to learn certain things, electrician, plumbing, what's the other joints? I'm tongue twisted right now.
Carpeting, construction work. Just look into other things. Anything else, even if you do have a main grind or a main focus, have a backup.
Yeah,
because you never know. And then you can't forget all this stuff that we talking about that's coming in 2020. That's what one candidate is talking about. If the American people have enough sense, they won't vote for him and we won't have to go through that.
Right.
Because again, why would you want a ceiling on how much you can make? If you're able to educate yourself on how to make the money, where to go, what grants to apply for, or how to, again, just in general, how to make money properly. If you can get yourself educated on that, you won't have to worry about that. Because, again, I'm going to keep saying it, why would you want somebody to give you a ceiling on how much money you can make?
Right. And that's why I'm saying, get your hustle on. Yo, just always have a backup plan. Don't just make enough to get by. Keep leveling up. Just keep doing everything you could. Do whatever you're passionate about. That's also important. Do what you love to do. And especially if you have kids, you want to always make sure your kids is good too. And it's funny that you talk about voting, because that's gonna be our last segment right now. That's gonna be our last segment right now. And I feel like when it came, I heard a lot of people was talking about, there was a lot of people being bullied for not voting. And not even bullied for not voting. The people that did vote and they said they want to go independent, they getting bullied also. And they said, oh, we should go Democrat. I'm like, wait a minute. Some of these people, like the I believe it was the governor of, I'm not sure it was somebody running for Congress from Jersey or something. I'm not sure. Somebody, but my brother was telling me about it, like, because I don't get into politics like that, because I know how the game works. It's all about you being paid. These politicians, they're gonna only answer what they said they're gonna do if you pay them money. They got bills to pay too. They got kids to pay too. Lobbyists, you're gonna have to pay them to be able for them to implement. That's why I don't get involved in who is there. But what I see right now, a lot of people don't have enough knowledge on politics. because they be like, your vote, everybody has to vote one way. I'm like, how I gotta vote for one way? What happened? And this person is a criminal. Like my brother said, one of these politicians that run for Congress is a straight crook. But they said, but he's running the Democratic Party, and all that matters is it's all Democrat. That's all that matters. I'm like,
no.
That's low key ignorant, because you should be able to vote for whoever you want to vote for, and you shouldn't shame somebody because they didn't vote, or you shouldn't shame somebody to vote for who you want them to vote for.
Exactly. If you're gonna vote, know who you're voting for.
Right.
Take the time out to read up on this person, learn everything you can about them.
Right.
What they're about, what they invest in, what they want to do in the future. Look up all that, because the way I see it, Democrat or Republican, you could be a piece of crap. I'm not going to vote for you. I don't care what party you with. If anything, I would say there's nothing wrong with if somebody wants to run independent.
Right.
They should be able to do so.
Right.
Or if somebody wants to vote independent, they should be able to do so. As long as you're able to, again, do your own research. Find out about these people. Find out about the political process, how it works.
Right.
Once you can do that, and then you can formulate a proper opinion on things and know what's going on, what's being offered, and what's being given to you, then you can vote.
Exactly.
Then you can vote.
And I feel like also, because if you see some of these people, like, something serious as far as voting became a clout moment. It became a clout moment because they had little stickers that say I voted. They took something serious and morphed it into being a clout chaser. Oh, I got the sticker. I saw a lot of entertainers. I saw people on these different social media outlets saying I got the sticker. I did something. No, you didn't. That could be a first step, but you didn't do anything, because also you have to hold them accountable now. You have to hold them accountable. You have to, whatever they said they was going to do, you got to make sure they do it. And nobody holds them accountable.
Exactly.
And like, how did you do your part? Because they said, well, the first thing they said, well, your ancestors, they died for you to vote. But your ancestors didn't just die for you to vote. They want you to be able to hold them accountable and make sure things change, laws change, society change for your kids and your kids' kids to be able to have a good life. Don't just, and then when that person don't do what he said he was gonna do, you just say, well, he can't, it was a Republican Party, or it wasn't enough people that he could implement these laws. You give him a pass. So why you vote for him? It just seems like you ain't have enough knowledge of how the process goes.
Yep, I agree. I think there's a situation where a lot of people are not educated at all.
Right.
Again, like I said before, on the political process, you got to take time out to get educated on it. That's all it is. Because a lot of people voted for Trump. I'm not going to say Trump is a good or a bad president. You know how the majority feels about Trump. Right. I mean, it is what it is. And if that is the case, next go around, when it's election time, we need to sit down, look at both candidates, again, see what they offer, see where they come from, see what their background is. Were they involved in a scam? Did they do something illegal? What is it that they did? What are they offering? Is it good? Are you willing to, pretty much you need to have risk assessment. What are you willing to risk? Just like if you putting in money in an investment. What are you willing to risk? Are you willing to risk this much with this person or not? That's something that everybody needs to take into account, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you shouldn't compromise. In the term saying, well, I'm picking the lesser two evils. I'm saying, well, if they're evil, you're still going down with the shit. It's like, if there's another party, there's an independent party that never gets a chance because they don't have enough money to be able to promote them. promote them on, and advertise themselves to know, okay, what are they about? Well, we would never know because we have to search them out because they don't have enough money like the Democrat and the Republican Party. They get funded millions and millions of dollars to have these advertisements. And the agenda behind that, they just want us to see those two parties so we could just only choose out of them because those two parties work for one person. So just wanted to elaborate on that because I feel like we need to be able to, we have to have education on this. We cannot, and it's scary because if you look at social media, nobody wants to talk about politics or life. They don't want to talk about that, but now everybody wants to vote. But you kiss a couple of people say you always political, you always want to talk about this. But then again, election time, oh, I'm voting. Why you ain't voting? I'm like, you don't even care about politics. You said you don't care for it. So what you voting for? Do you even know what UBI is? So we just need to educate ourselves. We need to know what's going on in the world. We need to know who these people that you're voting for, if you're voting. And don't shame anybody for not voting. If they don't want to vote, okay. That's good and all. And the people that don't vote, cut it out too, because at the end of the day, we could do what we want to do. And don't shame each other because they're voting, or if you say the voting don't count, or the other person saying don't vote, or why you ain't voting because your ancestors, it's all stupid. Everybody could do what they want to do. Don't shame anybody. Don't blame nobody to do anything they don't want to do. Just the tip is just continue on educating yourself. It's important. Don't go in the door with your eyes closed. Open your eye. Go in the door with your eyes open, looking around, and think before you react. That's all I'm saying. Anything final thought? Anything you want to talk about? Because it's getting about that time.
You know what I say? In a nutshell, know who and what you're voting for. That's one.
Right.
For two, again, R.I.P to Stan Lee.
R.I.P, man. The great legendary Stan Lee.
May he rest in peace.
Right.
And may his legacy continue. And also, love yourselves.
Right.
Like I always say, man, love yourselves and educate yourselves.
Right.
You have to.
Quick shout out. Go follow my boy D.A. Realist podcast. You can follow him on Apple. You can follow him on Google Play. You want to listen to his podcast, Spotify, Stitcher. You can listen to his podcast, real dope. He got a sports segment up. Also, go follow my sis on IG at FlowBillions on IG. She does artwork. If anybody need anything, a dope logo on a shirt, you need a poster, anything, she'll hook you up. And also follow us on the dot line 18. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel and comment about this episode. What you think about UBI? What's your favorite Marvel character that Stan Lee created? And also what you feel about the whole voting situation. And if it's anybody that I don't know of, please let us know. But this has been a great episode. Episode 37, we made it, and stay tuned for the next episode. My name is Deshaun Lyons, and this is
Marquise Taylor.